Now I thought I'd show one little thing that we're trying to do on this project, and this is the wheel itself is a casting, so it's got a rough finish to it, and I want it to be smooth. Now the other set of wheels I have for this bike, I spent a lot of time smoothing them out, and because it was in the middle of the winter, it took just time instead of looking out at the snowflakes fall. This one I want to make even nicer if possible. So what I wanted to do is get all the casting marks out of here, all the casting marks, as many of them as I can. And the combination of the SOS pad and the soap puts a really nice tooth on it for the paint. I found that out. And what I tried to do here, and I thought I'd pass this on, because I know several people are going to want to paint wheels over the winter. And it's this preparation, it's just a lot of time. There's really no substitute for some sandpaper, some soapy water. You can do this in a kitchen sink, or in our case the slop sink. But even if I just do one of these, if I get it smooth before I prime it, it'll make the paint finish that much thinner. And a lot more, I think a lot smoother and a lot nicer. And again, none of this is really expensive, it's just time consuming. It just takes really forever, literally forever. And I'm trying to get every corner radiused. I'll just do one section here. Of course, there's 6 sections, so. I'm using 220 grit paper, some soapy water, some SOS. And actually the soap in the SOS is real good at, you don't even have to put the soap in the water, which is overkill. I'm trying to get my fingernail down in all these little grooves and edges, because in the final finish, when this wheel is shiny, you'll see every imperfection, every imperfection. So the trick is right now is sand and grind as many of them away as possible. And we will. Now the other part of this, and I'm not sure you can see it, we've already got a pretty nice finish on there. I don't need to get it perfectly smooth because the primer will fill a lot of that in. But I don't want to have it that I have 1/8 inch pieces in there, 1/8 inch chunks. See the little piece of the wheel here, I'll have to file that out. I want to make this as really as nice as possible. It's one of the focal points of the bike when you actually see the back wheel. And again, it's that thing, if you can get these casting marks out now, then all you need is 1 or 2 thin coats of primer sanded between coats. And when you lay the color finish on, it'll be beautiful. And I really think, I'm really excited about seeing how this is going to look. Well, the first set of wheels we did, the silver ones, they came out halfway decent. But these I'd like to make even nicer. Always looking to upgrade what we have. The more of the old stuff we can smooth out and get all the original finish off. And remember, that paint that's on there already, or finish, whatever it is already 25 years, 26 years old. So we'd like to start with as much fresh aluminum as possible. I'm not sure you can see that we do have a nice, between the Brillo, and by the way, the Brillo or SOS, the same thing. That really tends to leave a nice, clean, smooth surface on this. Now the nice thing about this, I'm not going to be able to do this in one sitting because I have a lot of other stuff going on. But I can come back and do one quadrant every time I get a 15 or 20 minute break. In my case, what I've been doing, I've already started, is getting up early in the morning here for this, and I want to get this edge where the tire beads really nice. Any little chunks or imperfections in there, you could possibly have an air leak, so. And the 220, of course, really bites right in and takes a lot of it out very quickly. And it leaves a nice, just a nice enough, rough enough surface that will get that primer, to etching, self-etching primer, to take do its normal thing. Now luckily we've done a lot of wheels. We've never had one bad one. I've never had one that in the middle of it the paint start peeling off or whatever, so we don't want to have that start right now. But if I could show one quadrant to this, I have to do this 6 times and then do the spokes, so actually about 7 or 8. So imagine what it would be. It'd be like if you watch the crazy video 8 times. But every time you're sanding this, all these little imperfections. Now remember, these are track bike wheels. These had some hard use over the years, and I don't even know who owned this bike before I did. But I do know whatever they nicked and dinged, I can straighten out. Now, if we get this whole wheel down to that in the next day or so, and get it ready for its self-etching primer, I think we'll be in great shape here. Let me just show, I like to show this up close and personal, if I can. Do the Steven Spielberg thing here. Let's see, here's what it is this is a rough casting. And I've got wheels that I painted that are a casting. Yeah, they look nice, but when they're like this, they're going to look, I think, a lot nicer. And I used a half a bottle of Simple Green cleaning the grease off of this, because this is the real wheel, of course. And then just oodles of hand labor will go into this now. But the thing is, once you have this done, I think that's really, when it's all done, that's really going to look nice. Now, the last time we worked in the shop, I got this part all prepped up, got all the screws there ready to be polished. The disc has to be refurbished. You can see it's in pretty rough shape. That'll look brand new when I'm done with it, and it'll have a new surface for the pucks to seat into. This is drying up. That's got the second coat of primer on it. That'll get wet sanded out with some 400 sandpaper before I do the painting on it. Before that gets done, I think that, you know, this is the time when I get impatient anyway. I want to get it done, get it done, get it done. And you know what? If I take my time and if I just tough it out and get the whole thing to look like this, and in my case, I don't care if I use 100 boxes of Brillo or SOS or whatever. I want this wheel, when it's all done, to be one of the focal points of the motorcycle. And I really hope it's going to come out that way. But again, we'll see. That's why we like sharing the videos.